They also question the authority of 109 Senate. That's why I see them. Because if what Mr. Speaker has transmitted, duly signed by him and signed by the clerk, is transmitted to Senate and is not taken seriously, they call for question. Is that what I'm talking about? And also host the petroleum investor. In fact, he was the one who sponsored it in 8th Assembly. And I was one of the people who represented House of Representatives in the Senate to argue in favor of that bill. Because we needed the university in Delta State. I argue it. Now those two institutions which are federal are domiciled in centralism. Now it's advocating for another one, trying to shortchange the one I have already pushed. My bill was passed in November 2019. Transmitted to Senate. The first reading of that bill came up on 12th of December, and the Senate stepped it down because somebody wanted to step down. My question is that he's questioning the authority of the House of Representatives, not of Ossai. Because at that point in time, it is not a material of Ossai. It is a material of House of Representatives, duly transmitted by the Speaker of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the clerk. So my question, why somebody raised the point of order, questioning me, why not lay emphasis on the principles of advantages or disadvantages of the bill? My question is that I'm querying the foundation of the bill. Because every bill anchors itself on the constitutional provision. That's what I'm querying. And in explaining that vividly, I was shut out from the process. And that is why I'm trying to push my things across. That's not fair. Why will a single man question the authority of 360 people who represent constituencies in Nigeria? Why should a single man question the authority of 109 senators? That's my ground. And I believe that it's not fair that we're going to talk about issues of equity, fairness, and justice. That two federal polytechnics cannot be established in the same senatorial zone. I'm advancing for my place because the only federal presence in my place is prison yard. Only federal presence. And I made the House to believe and to understand that the IPP, the first indigenous IPP, the power where you are staying here, and that's so wrong, is coming from my place. And yet we have no land. Now my place hosts up to 15 oil companies who even hardly pay compensation to the communities because the federal government ministries are protecting them against the people. And yet, you cannot give us a federal polytechnic and you are giving it to a place that is saturated with high institutions. Why did I question that? In Delta Central, where the sponsor of the bill represents, hosts the Delta State University, hosts another polytechnic, state polytechnic organ, hosts another college of education in Mosoga, hosts a college of health technology in Uweli, where the senators represent. That's my job. And what is good for Mr. A should be good also for Mr. B. Is that not what we're agitating, that we're marginalized? Don't I have to voice my people's voice? Why will the voice of my people be shut up? That's my grounds. Well, no such report was given, but there was interface. There was interface between the Mr. Speaker and also Senate. And that interface says that both bills should be read on both chambers. But as I tell you, I have visited the office of the Senate clerk more than 5 times, and yet they want authority of a single person to authorize that the bill be put to Senate. That's the issue. I'm saying that if one person that is questioning the authority of the Senate, which is 109, that's my question. It then means some of us who probably are not principal officers are not protected. That's my questions.
I tell you on oath that nobody is sitting on his bill moment. There was a mistake at the beginning we're having a public hearing the day his first reading was coming up, and somebody felt, let his own come the next day. And this is Senate thing now. And then the next day somebody forgot. And when he brought it up, apologies were made. And I have personally met him. Please go and follow up this your own. Hey, don't worry, don't worry. I have met him to do that. So I don't believe he has done it. I believe he has deliberately done this to target 2023. That's what he's fighting. Otherwise, I've appealed to him. Please go and follow up your own. And then I don't think it is just and fair to compare a federal constituency with a senatorial constituency. I don't think it is just and fair. Let's think about it. If you are saying the whole of Delta Central has this, then you should be talking of what does Delta South have, what does Delta North have. That's what I think. If you are talking of constituency level, then you'll be talking of what does this constituency have and what mine has. In any case, this matter of prison and all that is begging the issue. Let him pursue his own, let us pursue our own. And for you to say I'm not the sponsor, I do not know whether you want to be more Catholic than the Pope. Something that is coming to my constituency, you are telling me I'm not the sponsor. Who else can be the sponsor? I'm the sponsor in the Federal House of Representatives. I take responsibility. Speaking about the federal constituency, for example, the Delta State University is not in my federal constituency. The PG I talked about is not in my federal constituency. Council of State are not. My local government, for example, there is not one bank. I mean a bank. Ugele South local government. It doesn't, no bank. I can go on. No, no state or federal presence in my local government. So if you want to go that low, I can take it there. So what I believe he was talking about was senatorial district, because he talked about schools that are outside the federal district. So in the same way, Paripasu, I look at the Delta North. Otherwise, if you talk of federal constituencies, our constituencies are some of the most undeveloped in the state and perhaps in the country. A motion, was it for Tuesday? And it didn't appear on the other paper. I still went on to ask yesterday for it to be on the other paper. See, today it's not there. How different?
The House referred the bill to the Senate.
You're right.
To be listed.
Yes, yes.
It's not in the duty. The question I'm asking is it okay? Is it in its place to ensure that that is listed on the other paper?
That is the way it is done. You follow up your bills. If you just dump it and leave it, if not just this Kwale and Orogun thing, take any bill, just go and drop it in rules and business. It won't go anywhere. You must go and see the chairman of rules and business. You must go and see the clerk. You must let them know that you've done what should be done. You fulfilled all righteousness and follow up. On the day you are told it will appear, you must go and collect the other paper and make sure it's your business. If you don't, it just dies.
How many institutions are cited in your senatorial?
I won't be able to, unless you want me to start doing 1, 2, 3, I didn't put all of them in my head. Just like in the senatorial zone, I don't have all of them in my head. But I just made a count a few minutes ago. And like I told you, this is not a question of how many are here and how many are there. We are all Deltans. God in His wisdom put us there together. And we are not against anybody. Nobody should also be against us. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. And we are looking at it senatorial zone to senatorial zone. And that's the analysis we gave. And that's what I responded to. Delta State. Today, the second reading of the Federal Polytechnic Orogun Establishment Bill scaled through second reading in the House today. And the location of the proposed Polytechnic is in my constituency. I appreciate how far we have gone with it. And I view with utmost dismay the unparliamentary behavior of my colleague Ossai in relation to this bill this afternoon. These matters have been discussed since the beginning of January. 3 bills for federal polytechnics from Delta State are before the House. And each member has that right to present a bill. And no one should stop the other. We, from my constituency, we are not stopping Honorable Ossai's bill. Neither should he stop our bill at Orogun. That's our position. And that is what has been agreed on after he stopped our own bill on the 30th of January. The Federal Polytechnic Orogun Establishment Bill came before the House for first reading, concurrence, because it's been passed by the Senate, public hearing done. It came before the House on the 30th of January, and he rose to ask that it be stepped down, claiming that his own bill at the Senate was also stepped down. The House as a body agreed to do what he asked for. And then checks were done. And then what went wrong at the Senate was resolved. And his duty is to now present his bill again at the Senate for concurrence. And it's our duty to present ours for concurrence. We can't do it for him. And we've tried to, but you know you can't do that. So I've personally spoken to him. Please present your bill again at the Senate. What has happened has happened. And we are presenting ours. Orogun is coming. Let your own go. You can't sit down and keep your own and say that we are stopping your own. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not good. It's bad. So today, the bill came up for second hearing after we represented our first reading on the 13th of February. And today, it passed through second reading. I want the world to know that my senator, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Ovie Omadege, is beyond this pettiness that Ossai is bringing him to. We have discussed this thing. I don't want to mention names, but we have agreed at the point of our discussion. Let these 3 bills go through the House. If Mr. President signs the 3, good luck to Delta State. If Mr. President signs one of them, good luck to that one. If Mr. President refuses to sign any, well, legislators have tried. That was the agreement the 3 of us agreed on who are concerned with this bill. So this show of shame is unnecessary. And it's regrettable that it brings local Delta tribal politics into it. It's very, very sad. We who come from the minority, we undo ourselves so we fight ourselves. It's very, very sad. We should help ourselves so that we come together and derive the best that we can derive from the system. But we fight ourselves. It's very, very sad. If he is thinking that the distinguished Senator, His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria, wants to be governor and he doesn't want that, he's entitled to his opinion. But he should not bring it to the floor of the National Assembly. And he should not, if he wants to be Deputy Senate President, it's a very simple thing to do. Contest the election for Senate, Delta North, in 2023. Win the elections. And having been in the House of Representatives, you're automatically ranking in the Senate. Then contest for that position. But as it stands today, Ossai is a member of the House of Representatives. And His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate, is a Senator of the Federal Republic. There's no two way about it. And then talking about institutions that are already in Delta Central. It's well known all over this country that every state has 3 senatorial districts. He was good to mention the institutions of higher learning in Delta Central, but failed to mention those that are in Delta North, where it comes from. And I love the Delta North people. They are my brothers, they are my sisters. I want more institutions there. My senator wants more institutions there. We will not stop any progress of Delta North. We will not stop the Polytechnic for any reason. We know that there is a Federal College of Education Technical in Delta North. We know that there is a State Polytechnic in Delta North. We know that there is a university at Gwale. We know that there is a College of Education at Agbo. We know that the State University has its campus in Asaba. I can go on and on. But for us, the more the merrier. Let there be a federal polytechnic in Kwale, great. Let there be a federal polytechnic in Orogun, great. Let there be a federal polytechnic in Koko, great. But let's not stop one another. Dog eating down? No, it's too bad. It's too bad. I want to conclude the address by appealing to the people of Delta State to take this thing easy. Peace is a prerequisite for development. And I want development for Delta State.